absolute genius. Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to put some Louise Rowdy tyres on some G-Made Steelies using hair-bun donut maker shaper things as foams. This one's been doing the rounds on the Facebook groups. Some people swear by them. I think it sounds insane, but they were dead cheap. Got them from China, and they're going to go on this. Right, so I tried to get the right size for a foam, which I think is an 11.5 centimetre outer diameter, which should, when it's inside of a tyre, compress and provide a nice firmish, but with some compliance kind of foam. I don't know if I'm going to vent the tyres just yet, but I'm going to get this packet open and see what I've let myself in for. Okay, they kind of look like they might work as foams. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, they look like a foam because they're a round ring. They're designed for people who have the big hairstyles. They feel quite firm, but with a lot of compliance. So the first thing I'm going to do is just pop an inner ring. These bead locks are just some old ones I had lying around, and then compare the size of this to the diameter of these tyres. And straight away I can see that they're not a million miles off, actually. Now, these are quite wide tyres, these Louise Rowdies. They're my absolute favourite tyre. Done a review on them. They can wear a bit on grippy rock, but as they wear, they get even more grippy, so you spin your wheels less, and they don't wear as much, which is just what you want. So it looks like, yeah, look about the right size. So, I mean, the easiest thing will be to just try and mount one up. Easier said than done with these G-Mades, because they've got the scale wheel nuts and the really irritating, you have to use like this tiny little nut driver thing that goes on a 2.5mm driver. It's just a bit of a faff. Okay, so straight away they are softer, much softer. Yeah, I think I've not got those quite tight enough, so I'm just going to tighten them up by hand because I can just hear a bit of the air squeaking out. Right. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm not too bothered about a bit of air squeaking out because apparently they're waterproof foams. They feel... it's weird. It's like more compliant. They are definitely softer. But then they won't take any breaking in, so hopefully they'll stay that kind of feel for a while. The bead is seated. Yeah. So it must be, well, I don't know. I don't know how it's leaking any air out. Looks absolutely standard. Yeah, that's it really. I'm going to do the rest of these, chuck them on, and then we'll do some driving and see how they go. I've got no idea who came up with the idea of using hair scrunchy donut things for foams, but they're a genius. Absolute genius. They work. They work brilliantly. I've had them in the TRX4 G500. It's got 2-speed, hobby wing axe system, 3300 kV, 10-tooth pinion, and 10 degrees of turbo timing. The thing launches like an absolute rocket. And it's not rolled the foams, it's thrashed them, crashed them, twisted them, bound them up, done everything that I would expect to destroy a standard foam, including like the Pro-Line dual stages that I normally run. And they've just taken it. And it side hills amazingly well, and the traction is better than the foams that I had in there. I had the Club5 Racing dual stage foams in there, and the traction's better with these hair scrunchy donut things. The scattergun, the comp crawler, that was running the Pro-Line foams, which have a really hard inner foam and then a really soft outer foam. And to be honest, it wasn't quite heavy enough to sort of get any traction on this. These hair scrunchy things in this that weighs almost a whole kilo, probably even 1.5 kilos less than this one. So this is about 2.5 kilos. This is about 3, maybe 3.5. Maybe even 4. I've not weighed it, but I run 2 batteries in it. It's quite heavy. The grip that these had was immense, and I was worried that on the wider wheel, because this TRX is running really thin wheels, whereas this is running wider wheels. I thought there might be some issue with them folding or twisting or anything, but I got this thing at like absolutely stupid angles today, and yeah, it fell over, but it didn't fall over because the foams folded in. It fell over because I ran out of skill, which is why it looks so trashed. Don't know if the camera picks it up, but it's got plenty of holes. So yeah, get this open. What to look out for one of these? I've used the 11.5 centimetre, most places call them a large, band, and that's got a hole that's just right for a 1.9 wheel and a 4.75 tyre. Now, a heavier truck gets a nice big meaty contact patch with them. A lighter truck still gets a decent contact patch, but better side hilling ability. They fill the tyres out nicely, but they've got so much compliance. It's witchcraft. It makes no sense. But when you look at one of these, it really does, because what the foam's trying to do is pretend to be the air, and this fills the volume and has enough compliance to feel like an aired down tyre, without completely giving way. When you crush them, they crush completely. You can absolutely squeeze them up, and when you let go, they go back to the same shape instantly. They're not like a foam that when you crush them enough times, they lose their shape. If I did this with a normal foam, it'd start to get softer and softer and softer and softer. And these just go straight back to the same shape. And in fact, the more you squish them about like this, the more they kind of expand out. And what I've seen with both crawlers is that the material in the centres kind of expanded out a bit, and so they just give a really nice consistent fill to your tyre. Try them. They were, I think it was about £18 for about 9 of them, delivered from China in about 5 days. And they're waterproof. I got my tyres full of water, the water drained out, and they acted the same. In fact, when they were full of water, you know, the water just made the tyre feel harder. As soon as the water came out, they were just back to normal. They don't stay wet because they're just plastic. I don't get it. I don't know how someone came across these, but I'm glad I'm glad that people have talked to me about these on Facebook and I've seen the posts. I thought you were insane, whoever was doing this first, but you're an absolute genius. Go buy some of these, they're awesome.